conventional classroom, the student is a tourist and the teacher is a tour guide. And everything's been pre-prepared and packaged, and the tourists are essentially passive. They're just essentially there to be fed, more or less. And the tour guide is very much on stage, and it's a one-way flow. In this other classroom that you're talking about, where you identify themes, you have a speaker who has themes, you have students who prepare, then the students are travelers because they come to the class, they've already started their journey. Their cognitive journey, right? By thinking about those themes and formulating those questions, those students are like travelers, right? The students are travelers, and now the teacher is kind of a fellow traveler, but he or she, the teacher, the so-called teacher, is also a learner and also a traveler, but maybe a more experienced traveler. And so I think this idea of tourism and traveling very much imports into the classroom, and I think it can also probably be imported into the healing encounter, into the practitioner-patient relationship, and probably into a lot of other ways too. And again, I haven't thought this through yet, but I think there's probably also the idea of synergy. When you have dialogue groups, based on the idea of synergy between ideas and energies and people and emotions, I think traveling is a bit more like that. And traveling, you don't know exactly where. I think another difference between traveling and tourism. Tourism, you know exactly where you're going. In fact, a tour, by definition, tourism is based on the idea of a tour. And a tour implies that you have a preset set of goals and destinations, and you know exactly where you're going to be at each place and time. That's a tour, right? And everything's prearranged. Traveling is based on not knowing. And so there's this idea that if you had to take this dialectic between knowing and not knowing, they're both necessary, and they're kind of the yin and yang of learning and of action. Knowing is necessary to act, not knowing is necessary to learn. Then I think traveling is maybe a bit more balanced between the two, and a bit more, and maybe with traveling there's a bit more of the not knowing and the receptiveness, and the idea of a journey.